Yo, what's up with it? It's your boy Noonie. It's Leo in the third house, and we back with another reading.
Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is gonna be another pick a card reading. Gonna be asking the question, how are you underestimating yourself? So I was thinking about this question for a second. I think I've seen it in like different variations, but basically just want to know, how are you sleeping on yourself? What are you not recognizing about yourself right now? It could be a situation, it could be some skills or some traits you have. It could be a perception. I don't know. I really don't even know. I'm just going to kind of read them how I see them. So whatever happens, happens. That's pretty much it. So we're going to see, how are you underestimating your abilities? How are you underestimating you as a person? Okay, so 4 piles, as always. You seen that little, the little pile selection where I put it real close? Yeah, I got to figure out a way maybe to cut it in the middle or something. I don't know. Maybe I can cut it and add an intro. I might try it a different way. Anyway, I'm about to start rambling, so let me not. It's kind of late. Just came back from the gym. Got my pump on. Okay. I ain't all the way there yet, but I'm getting there. Anyway, as always, thanks to those people who be liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Appreciate y'all very much. Thanks to those people who had booked those personal readings. Thanks to those people who be donating, who have donated in the past and all that. I just appreciate all y'all for just being here on that journey and just rocking with me. So without doing too much talking, because I done did a whole lot, talking about nothing. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. And we asking the question, how are you underestimating yourself? All right. We can start with pile 1. Boom. Pile 1. So, pile 1, how are you underestimating yourself? You could be a Sagittarius, you could be a Pisces, you could be a Virgo. Okay, so automatically you're very abundant. You may not see it because you're comparing yourself to other people. All right, you are good enough, and we have wall spirit. Sometimes life stings in reverse, and we have mending. So mending in this case is looking more like a relation. Well, not relationship. It's looking. It could be. It could be. It could be you also holding on to past relationships, friendships that haven't produced any sense of abundance or stability. Like they go against your own philosophy or your own beliefs. So you could be focusing on repairing, relationships like that. Some relationships that might have been meant to be in your life. Either you could be letting them go or you could be holding on to them. But I get nourishment. So you could be nourishing relationships that might have fell apart and that you could be working on. You could be paying a bit more detail to it. And with you are good enough could be also an energy of you being a bit too critical of yourself and others. You know what I mean? And with life sometimes stings. What I'm getting here is okay, so look, because I'm skipping all around because that's what's going on. Here I'm looking at chaos and conflict. So that's where the energy is here. And this is the chaos and the conflict is coming from you comparing yourself to other people. All right. So you have a lot of passion. You have a lot of abundance. You have a lot of security going on here. All right. And the thing is that you trust in your own emotions and you're learning to trust in your own intuition here. Your perception is being changed and you're now learning to get more comfortable within yourself and becoming more present within the moment. All right. So there's like an energy right now of you feeling like you need other people, of being selfish, because you got the Nine of Pentacles, which can sometimes be selfish with your intention. Well, I'm not gonna say selfish with your intentions. I'm gonna say it could be selfish with assisting other people, because we got the Knight of Pentacles, and sometimes the knight is like the Knight of Pentacles was a knight who was considered to be like he wasn't like the other knights from what I read. This knight is more like the knight that sticks around the castle and the borderline. He's the one that kept security. He was the one that people could rely on. He was stable, and he was the guy who was slow to anger. But once they really got frustrated, and this could be women too, but once they get frustrated, then they seem to erupt, into like almost like this Leo energy or this Queen of Wands in reverse energy, very pushy, very brazen, sometimes even a bit jealous, you know what I mean, or vindictive, and that's kind of like where this energy is here. It's like you fluctuate between that, between being very helpful and very assisting to being very selfish. And this is something that, so you may be underestimating your ability to be good just as you are, where you don't have to compare to other people, where you can help and be assistant to other people, help other people through chaos, help them find their, help other people get achievements, help them basically persevere through rough situations, rough terrain. You're already a person, because with the Sagittarius energy, this, as the first card out, it gives me an energy of you being a person who has a higher information, who's a roamer. And as a roamer, you usually know the lay of the land. So you already travel this path usually before a lot of other people. So you have a lot of information that you can share, but you're basically basing your status or your it's like you're basing your stats or you're basing your value based on what other people have. And what they're basically letting you know at this point is you are good enough. And what's being healed is your root chakra and your third eye chakra, which has to do with your perception of you and the perception of the world around you. And so with the root chakra, this is about recognizing that your needs are met, recognizing that you yourself can take care of your own needs. We're no longer children, we're now adult. Usually most of us are of adult age where we can take care of ourselves. So we become people who can nurture ourselves and nourish ourselves and take care of ourselves and finance ourselves and feed ourselves and love ourselves, so that we don't have to basically depend on other people. And you have this level of of independence where you don't have to depend on other people. And what it is, it's not good enough to you at this point. It's more of an energy of, they have more than me. They have this going on that I don't have. And it's just that energy. And it's like you have the ability to be able to weather storms. You have clear sight. You're just not seeing yourself in the best light. You may be taking fault or taking blame for other people's mistakes or taking blame for the relationships that didn't work with this mending, because the mending is wanting to fix relationships, wanting to heal relationships that have already passed and that maybe you should have let go. You know what I mean? Or it could just be the energy of wanting to hold on to relationships that maybe were good for you, that created at one time a sense of abundance or a sense of prosperity, maybe even felt like a lucky thing. And so you could be still holding on to those type of relationships, and you don't have to. You're very abundant. You have more relationships coming, because that's what it's about. The first card out was abundance. So it means that you have a lot of it coming, but you're just assessing your value or your level of abundance to other people. You're comparing it, and that's where the life stings. And this is what you're recognizing. You're learning, you're getting through this situation, and you're being healed through this to learn to be more present and appreciative of what you have. It's not a heart chakra, but with the root chakra, this is more like understanding like what you have, like just being I guess we can just say grateful for lack of better words right now. Just being grateful, like you'll be able to see what it is that you truly need. The advice on it is that your energetic body needs nourishment. So you could be taking care of your health, focusing more on the things that bring you emotional fulfillment, as opposed to focusing on what other people are doing. This is what's going to allow you to be more present, more focused in the moment when you're when you're focusing on your race, pretty much. This is what I'm getting here. It says right here, right now, everything is perfect. So it says, allow your energy to shift to the material plane where it is needed to help you complete what you have set out to do. And, and this is usually representing a Virgo energy, the Nine of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So this could also be you not taking the practical steps needed. This could also be like and it's not inconsistency, but it's kind of like holding back, holding yourself back. It's almost like a hangman energy, but you're just not getting any information, no new information. You're just, kind of like keeping yourself small from, allowing yourself to really be confident in what it is that you have to offer. It's like your achievements that you get, you don't feel as if they're that big of an achievement, based on what other people have going on. You're like, oh man, let's just say, for instance, say you're a rapper and you get 1,000 streams, but maybe your friend is a rapper as well and he gets 20,000 streams. Your 1,000 is important, but you may not see your 1,000 as important because you're basing it on him having 20. We're not, including that maybe your friend's been rapping for 10 years. Maybe your friend has a bigger, maybe he's from a bigger city. Maybe he's already, linked in with certain people. You can't count your journey based on how other people are getting to theirs. Everyone has their own race. And so this is kind of what the energy is of you focusing on other people's race, or how other people are expanding and growing, and not really paying attention to your expansion and growth, and not watering your garden. You're having achievements because we have the Six of Wands here, and you're slowly progressing, and getting the acknowledgement and recognition. You're just not happy with it. You're not confident in it, and you fluctuate between being jealous or being passive, or sometimes being a bit judgmental, and that's that energy here. And so here's your advice. Your advice says, oh, you could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius because of the Queen. I'm sorry. And you could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo because we got the Knight here, the Earth Knight. So here's your advice. It says balance. Difference is a necessary part of human evolution, and everything in life is comprised of opposites, which together make life whole. If you light a candle in a room already flooded with light, the light of your candle would be indistinguishable from the light which already exists. Because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. So that's what it is. It's just you recognizing that you have values, that you have your own, basically you add value for who you are. They add value for who they are, and you don't have to judge your value based on what other people are offering to the world, or what other people are offering to the workforce, or what other people are doing in, relationships. You don't have to base your successes on other people's successes, basically. You are good enough just as you are. You're being too overly critical of yourself and possibly of others, expecting too high, too much for yourself, maybe even getting a bit too big-headed sometimes. So let's go over the signs one more time. We're going to wrap this up for part one. So we got Sagittarius, we got Pisces, we got Virgo, we got Capricorn, we got Taurus, we got Virgo, we got Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Okay? So you could be these signs, or you could be acting in the capacity of these signs. It could be your sun, moon, rising, Mars. It's somewhere in your chart, possibly. All right. So that was your reading, part one. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Ooh. Boom. Part two. So, part two. How are you? What was the question again? How are you underestimating yourself? Yeah, that's the question. How are you underestimating yourself? You need to hold your vision, that's for sure. Oh, I get it. This was quick. It's not quick, but I get it. I'm glad that it showed itself this way. Okay. Okay, so you could be a Leo, could be a Pisces, could it be a Cancer? Could be a Gemini, could be a Virgo. But this is what I'm getting. So I'm getting that your thoughts are keeping you guarded, keeping you at an opposition from actually getting the relationships that you want, because this is what's showing up more so, relationships, okay? So it's keeping you from getting the relationships that you really want. You have a fear of intimacy and betrayal, okay? You're afraid of expressing yourself. There's a fear of that. You don't really quite know how to put your feelings into words, you know what I mean? Or not quite sure about what it is that you really desire or what you really want with this Seven of Cups. You don't really, this isn't about desires, but it's about what you really want emotionally. You don't really know what would fulfill you emotionally, all right? And this is what's keeping you from getting the relationships that you really want. So you have, starting off with, with Mercury. So it's your thought patterns, all right? And then you have Pig Spirit, which is about using your mind wisely. And then we have Bat Spirit in reverse and Never Ending Story, all right? And Never Ending Story, we know, is about keeping the same, it's almost like an Eight of Swords, it's the limited beliefs, it's repeating the same patterns, the same self-talk, keeping yourself from getting what it is that you really want. Feeling like you're depressed. This is like an energy of being depressed, but keeping yourself there, stagnancy, almost like Hangman energy, but it's not. And with opposition here, this is that need of making a decision. Oppositions in astrology mean to make a decision. You have to make a decision. There's a choice of staying in the old way of how you've always been, or transitioning into the new way of yours. But what is really important is there is a choice. And the choice that you've been making is to protect your heart, to guard yourself at all costs. All right, you've been holding on to relationships, not allowing things to transform. And usually with rebirth and reverse, it's usually not even about relationships. It's about holding on to past resentments, regret, guilt, shame. And this is what, and with pig spirit right next to it, this is about using your mind and your thoughts in a more positive way, as opposed to using them to replay the same hurts or the same resentments that have already kept you stagnant. And with that never ending story, that's all that's really going on. You're not allowing yourself to become this new version of you and move forward towards your dreams and align with this heart chakra. This is about acceptance and processing guilt, shame, and regret, and align to what it is that you really want, with this having faith in your dreams and holding your visions, holding your vision. Well, yeah, hold your vision, So you could also be a Scorpio, a Taurus, or an Aquarius, because I didn't even recognize that here for a minute. So you could be one of these. So we'll go back to that in a second. But anyway, that's what's keeping you from getting the relationships that you really want. Seven of Cups means that you have options. There are opportunities here, but you just don't see them as viable. In reverse, it's like, I don't really see them as being worth anything to me. It's a lot of them there, but I don't know. Are they even any good? Is any of them any good? You know what I mean? Seven of Cups is like, this is an illusion. This isn't even real. And that's what's keeping you from getting into what you really want, because your thoughts are that love isn't real, that I need to protect myself at all times, that the people that are coming into my life are like the people that just left me, because the people that just left or that just did me this way, I still think about what they did. And that is what's keeping you in this energy of afraid of allowing new people in, and afraid. It's like with the sun in reverse, this is about dimming to fit in. This is dimming your light. This is afraid of self-expression. This is also discontentment, and that discontentment is because it's a fear. You have a fear of intimacy, a fear of like following your intuition and trusting in what you feel. You know what I mean? And that's where it is. You're like, I don't trust my feelings because I've had betrayal. And the betrayal, so look, the Ten of Swords represents, in theory, right? Well, not even in theory, it literally represents a blocked intuition, right? Because in order to get to the Ten of Swords, you had to have been stabbed 10 times. That means that you had to went through the indecision of not really being able to make a decision, not really having any clarity and not speaking your truth, still getting, going through the disappointments, but still stand, then learning from the disappointment, but still stand, then contemplating on the situation, then still stand, then possibly giving an ultimatum, then still stand, going back for an argument and a disagreement, still stand. Six of Swords, going into a transformation, then still stand. Seven of Swords, trying to analyze it, trying to be, strategic, then still stand. Then eight of Swords, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. This is always going to be like this. This never ending story. This is always going to be like this. Nine of Swords, obsessive thinking, can't go to sleep because something isn't right. And then finally, the nail in the coffin, the Ten of Swords. Finally. They wax your ass. Finally. Then you get it. Ouch. That shit hurt. And that's why you're afraid of expressing yourself in relationships. Sun can sometimes become a new beginning as well for me. With two stars, the moon and the sun is about an imbalance. With the sun in reverse, this is an imbalance of masculinity or of being direct. You know what I mean? Of going after what it is that you want. And so you're learning now to be more receptive. This is what's coming in. To be more receptive, to allow things in. Process that previous hurt and that pain that kept you in this pattern of feeling like I need to protect myself at all costs because people are not to be trusted. I've been betrayed over and over and over again. And this makes me want not to express myself or be out here showing the world my light and being the best version of me that I can be. You know what I mean? I don't really see any viable options or any viable opportunities here, and so I just keep replaying and rehashing what other people have did. But the good thing about the Ten of Swords is that you finally come to a realization now that this needs to end, and that's good. But only thing that is the problem is that because it's come to an ending, you haven't decided what to do. And what they're saying is, keep your vision, hold your vision. You have a dream of maybe relationships or dynamics that you are hoping for, and that will happen. You don't need to protect yourself. You don't need to guard yourself. Instead, what you need to do is allow the death of those previous situations to end and let them end in the mental aspect. That is going to allow you to be free to receive. Because what's happened to you has already happened. It's already done. You know what I mean? You may still be feeling it, but it's only because you're considering, keeping it going here. It's still alive in your brain and your mind and your psyche. It's not physically happening to you anymore. That's the thing about the Ten of Swords. It's not happening to you anymore. The part that hurt the most was that you never listened to your intuition during this time when these things were happening over and over and over and over again. And that's where the fear is. The fear was that you didn't trust in your feelings. So now you feel like you need to protect or guard yourself from sharing those feelings and from expressing those feelings. But that's not true. It's not going to allow you to get what it is that you really want. Instead, you need to be stubborn, be fixed on the desires and the dreams that you really want. Don't worry about what happened in the past, because it was the past. The Ten of Swords happens so that way you can gain clarity. You come into that Page of Swords energy where you become curious and observant, and you pick up information very fast because you've learned from bumping and grinding and hurting and scraping and scratching your knees. Then you get better and you become more open and receptive. You know what I mean? This is how you learn. So you may be feeling conflicted, and that's what this opposition is. You know what I mean? You may be feeling conflicted because there's new information that's been presented to you. There's new opportunities that are available to you. That's what the Seven of Cups is. There are new opportunities that are available for you, but you're just afraid of taking them. You're afraid of opening up because of what's already happened. But with this waxing crescent moon, this is about making a first start, getting a beginning, going after what it is that you really want. You're in that beginner stages of just fixing your mind at what it is that you really want. And this is going to help bring it in even faster. It's like a laser beam. Your focus is like a laser beam, or like a very strong magnet. When you think about what it is that you really want and you obsess about it, it becomes that. So if you obsess about negativity or past pain and hurt and heartbreak, you become that. Your reality becomes that, and you share that within it resonates within your whole being and your whole body. And then you're not allowing yourself to become free, because all you can think of is this mental prison, or this past heartbreak that took you out and won't allow you to be who you really are, because people aren't to be trusted. That's just, the vibe of what this is. But that's not true. You could be using your mind for much wiser things. You could be envisioning a better reality for yourself. You could be, transforming this into a way to make it work for you, transmuting this energy. I'm surprised that we don't have crown chakra, which is about transmutation. I'm surprised we don't have that here, but we do have you learning to center yourself, trusting in your heart space, allowing things to come to you, being open and receptive. This is more in your feminine energy. Even if you're masculine, even if you're a male, this is allowing, becoming more soft, more pliable, allowing things to flow through you and processing what's already happened. That way you can be open to brand new experiences. Okay? So here's your advice. Judgment. Let go of your fear of being judged. You are good enough. It is time to release all that you have kept safely locked away in your heart. Your true essence and potential have been restricted by structure and method for long enough. There is no right or wrong way. Just be you. Okay, so here's the signs one last time before we close this out. We got Gemini, we got Virgo, we have Cancer, we have Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Virgo, we have Pisces, and that's what I got. All right, it could be these signs, you could be acting like that. You may have them in your chart. You know how it goes. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, Pile 2. That was your reading. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile 3. So, Pile 3. How are you underestimating yourself? Okay, you could be a Capricorn. You could be a Capricorn. You could be a Libra. It could be a Scorpio. Could be a Virgo. Could be a Libra. Could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Which one was this? It's this one. Okay. Okay, so how are you underestimating yourself? So you're a very structured person, very structured, disciplined person. All right. You're also a person who knows how to rectify wrong situations. You make great choices. All right. Great choices. That's what's showing up here. You're a very supportive type of person. All right. You're also a type of person who sometimes can come off as very micromanaging of people. All right. With this mouse spirit in reverse, this is you sometimes overthinking, and this is like a control aspect. This is a need to make sure that you're always doing the right thing, or what's deemed to be the right thing, because that's what the wedding represents. Wedding represents what's considered as conforming to societal acceptable views, and so that's what you are. And with sword here, you may not recognize that you know how to find your own level of justice. You know how to find your own level of balance. We have the hermit here, which is the energy of you knowing how to isolate and go into seclusion. Four of swords, it's contemplation, and two of swords. So you have the natural ability, or you have a skill of knowing how to get over things that have disappointed you, of that have basically, because I got the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this is of knowing how to basically rejuvenate or transmute past betrayals, past heartbreaks, past letdowns, past situations that just didn't play out, expectations that didn't come through. You know how to transmute those energies and find justice, or find your own level of balance in them. You know how to look at them, look at past betrayals and learn from them, because I got the Page of Swords right next to the Ten of Swords, and with the Justice right next to it. This is about gaining balance, gaining a level of fairness, or gaining a level of understanding, because the sword is here. So there's a level of understanding with the Page of Swords next to it. This is about researching and studying and being observant. So you've learned how to get over these by contemplation, by sitting. So you're underestimating your ability to get over any hardship or any difficulty, regardless of what other people expect or perceive you to be needing to do. You have a choice, and you're able to make clear, decisive choices by going off on your own. Like, these cards are giving me that you know how to make clear, decisive decisions based on contemplating, spending time alone, hermit mode. You have a lot of wisdom. You've gained a lot of wisdom from being. So basically, because we got this is transmutation too that I was speaking about in the last pile. And with time to take a nap. So you're underestimating your ability to get things done, and by able to taking a break and really observing and examining situations that didn't play out the way that you hoped or expected that they would, and the ability of micromanaging people. That's you. Like, you have this natural ability of being a leader. But you may be conforming to what other people expect you to do. You have your own sense of justice, your own sense of personal integrity, and knowing how to basically take care of your own needs here in this case, because sword can represent needing to balance the scales, needing to have things equal, or like, it also can mean revenge. But in this case, it's like conforming to the right way. It's like, so you're a person, like you could be like a police officer, or like a lawyer, a detective, something like that. Like, someone who does things for the justice of other people, who's a what do they call it? You're like a champion of the people, or something like that. But you have a habit sometimes of micromanaging people, because that's what this means. Like, micromanaging people, being too critical of situations that you may not need to be in control of. And that's because you're used to conforming, or doing what's considered the right thing, doing what's considered societal norms, going with that. And so you're having a choice now, and that's what you're underestimating, that you have a choice now, and you're gaining a lot of momentum to build your own way. With the hermit mode and this contemplation, and the Four of Swords, this is all contemplative energy and making a decision. Trusting your intuition. The Two of Swords is about trusting your intuition, and being bold. Look, both the same moon is here. You see that? The same moon is here. That crescent moon is about getting things started. But this is a waxing moon, But still, this is about gaining momentum. This is that little step after the crescent moon. So this is that starting to put more effort and work into what it is that you've already initiated, and that's what's here. Here, this is the crescent moon. So you're just getting that energy of initiating, but it's also of trusting what it is that I'm about to do. You believe in it, and it comes from spending that time alone. And through examining betrayals, and examining disappointments, and examining things that just went awry for you in life, pretty much. You're learning to gain your own balance and your own level of integrity. You also are building your own level of integrity. I just said that right, but that's what you're building, your own level of integrity with this hermit mode and with this justice. This is like using the wisdom and the knowledge that you have to gain your own justice. You know what I mean? To balance out the scales, to get your fairness. You know what I mean? But here, there's no scale here. Here, this is about gaining your own level of clarity and your own level of integrity. You know, and basically your own principles, your own, instead of conforming to what society says is the right thing, what you're learning now is that you can determine what is right for you. So that's what is, that's what you're basically, what else I, that's where you're basically undervaluing yourself. You're not, well, I forgot what the reading was. I need to put up a sign or something here, bro. But basically, this is how you're underestimating yourself. That's what it was. This is how you're underestimating yourself. You know what I mean? You're not aware that you have the ability to be able to create your own beliefs, pretty much, or your own like your own guidelines. You know, your own way of being. You know, you're used to doing it the way that it's always been done, because that's what Saturn well, Capricorn represents that with wedding. That represents doing things that are societally acceptable. You know, and conforming to that. Discipline, Saturn is about like hard line stuff, like, you know, sticking to the tried and true, hard work, you know what I mean? Doing the day in, day out, minute task on a regular, trials and tribulations, you know, it's integrity, you know, and so your integrity was based on what society would deem as acceptable. And now you're learning that you yourself have a choice on what is acceptable for you. What is your own guidelines? What are your own philosophies and beliefs? You know, and you're learning not to have to take a break on needing to micromanage other people. You know what I mean? This is all about you. You get to make a decision. You get to make a choice. Choice is here. You get to make a choice. And when you make a choice, you're going to be able to move very quickly with the energy is gaining momentum. You know, and so it comes from you doing deep contemplation, deep thinking, deep studying, and then trusting in your intuition with this Two of Swords. You know what I mean? And trusting that you have enough information. You know what I mean? With this Page of Swords here, this is trusting that I have enough information. All right, trusting that I have enough information about the things that I've encountered that have disappointed me, that have let me down, that have hurt me, the betrayals that I've already encountered. I've learned the lesson. This is karmic lessons. This is what Saturn also represents, karmic lessons. The Justice sign represents karmic lessons. You know what I mean? It's balancing the scales of karma, and Saturn is karma. He's the I forgot what it's called, but anyway, this is about karma, and this is about you recognizing that you have a choice and ability to create, you know, your own level of integrity, your own, you know, just, I'm about to go over it. I'm doing the same shit over again. I'm saying it all over again. So I'm done with saying it over again. I'm just going to give you the signs. I'm going to wrap. Let me give you the advice. I'm tripping. I'm sorry, y'all. It's getting kind of late and I'm kind of getting irritable now. So, surrender. It says, remain positive about the future of our planet, for all is a part of humanity's evolution. There is a divine order to all the chaos which you perceive in our world. Nothing will ever truly change until we learn to love and accept all as it is. Lovingly surrender your judgments and expectations, and your life will magically transform. And that's what it is, yeah. And that's probably where the annoyance came from. Because it was like, you know, wanting to have it just right. It needs to be this way. It has to be this way. Because this is the way that people expect it to be. And that's where I was getting kind of annoyed. Because it was like, it's not going the right way. It's not going how I would like it to go. And that's kind of where you're at, you know, and you're realizing now that it can go however you want it to go. It doesn't have to go in any specific order. It doesn't have to follow any methodology. This is all on what it is that you would like to do. And they're saying surrender. Surrender this. You don't need to micromanage people. Things aren't going that bad. Things aren't happening, you know, or being that as tragic as you may think. You know, it says take comfort and know that you're supported. You know, you're allowing your inner child to come out. You're transmuting, you know, these beliefs and these betrayals and these things that have happened to you. You're taking time out. This is DNA repairing. This is changing ancestral patterns. With the wedding here, this is usually, Saturn represents holding on to traditions. You know, Capricorn is a traditional sign. So this is about holding on to traditions, but here you're transmuting them. You know what I mean? You may feel like you weren't supported. You may have felt like you don't really know who you are, because a lot of your identity might have been based on how other people were telling you to perceive yourself, or what is the right way to, you know, act in the world. You know what I mean? And so you're changing that. You know, you're able to move forward now in a way that recognizes who you are and what value you offer, and as well as recognizing how you want to show up in the world. This is what's being changed. This is what's changing for you, and you're underestimating your ability to do this. You're able to control how you're showing up in the world. So it says, there is no effort required for this shift. Be present and allow every aspect of your being to transform. This is you not recognizing that you have the decision and the choice to be able to change the way that you've always been, into a new version of yourself by just trusting in your own intuition and the information and the knowledge that you've already gained and the wisdom that you've gained from, taking time out and resting and rejuvenating. All right. So let's go over the signs. We got Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio, Virgo, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and Libra again. All right. So that was your reading, pile 3. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the 3rd house. Okay. Boom. Pile 4. So, pile 4. How are you underestimating yourself? So you could be a Leo. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. All right. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. You're underestimating your ability to take personal control of your life. All right. So with surrender, I got surrender to the divine right next to challenge. You're having an issue with actually allowing the universe or allowing situations to show you what they can be. See, with seeing the bigger spirit, the bigger picture in reverse, this is sometimes the energy of having your head in the clouds, being too dreamy, and not paying attention to what's going on at the ground level. Sometimes putting the horse before the cart. And this is with to the sea. This is about going at a space or a pace and time where you're just floating. You're in alignment with where you're meant to be going, and you're not really recognizing that. You don't have to do much here. Spirit is already guiding you in it. You're just not. You may need to pay attention to what's going on at the ground level. Pay attention to how things are building up. You need to pay attention to the more practical things. That's what's happening right now. What we have is your 3rd eye chakra, your heart chakra, 2 heart chakras here, and we got spirit. We're here. So this is that crown chakra as well. This is that divine intervention or that divine intuition that's coming in, and you're gonna be able to process it here. So this is basically you're sleeping on the fact that spirit is translating and giving you information that's allowing you to come into a new form of personal power. It's taking some time, yes. It is, but you're learning and gaining some level of clarity, which is going to allow you to express your feelings and to wear your heart on a sleeve. And you may be, what I'm thinking? You may be offering an apology to someone who maybe walked away. You know what I mean? It could be like, because with this Ace of Wands in reverse, I could feel like there's that energy of no longer being enthusiastic. Like maybe you wanted to offer some type of communication, emotional communication, because I got the Ace of Swords with the Knight of Cups. Towards the 5 of Cups. So someone maybe you want to offer some type of apology or some type of emotional offer, a clear offer towards someone, or that's what I'm really feeling like. I'm feeling like you fluctuate between being very romantic, having a clear vision of what it is that you want to, feeling like, like this resentment, or this guilty feeling, and then walking away and then not feeling, as passionate in order to push forward, kind of having a level of self-doubt, and that's why I feel like you fluctuate between that, and that's where the challenge is in new ideas, new ways of thinking, because this is an air, it's in the last quarter of air. This is having to do with challenging your old ways of thinking and belief. And so what you're doubting and what you're underestimating about yourself is that you do have true clarity about how you feel about things. You do have the innate ability to be able to communicate what your real feelings are. You have personal power and a level of pride that's actually here to challenge the ways that you've always seen yourself. So with the bigger picture in reverse, here I'm thinking about is as more like you might have been kind of like looking too far ahead and not of where you are right now. This isn't really about balance. This is about balancing your liberation, about being free and finding more. I want to say finding more zest for life. You know what I mean? Because more, it's like you want to control this here, and it's like you want to be further than where you already are. You know, so it's like a lot of things going on here. More as well, I'm feeling like you want to be further than where you already are, because the task, I mean, the flow of the reading feels like it's moving slow. But the challenge is in, because you start off with the sun energy, and the sun energy, you know, is focus, it's getting things done, it's masculine energy, it's drive, you know what I mean? It's intention. And so then you get to the challenge, and the challenge is of letting go of that control aspect and kind of like just going with the flow because you have it here. And so while you're going with the flow, you would need to be paying attention to what's happening at the ground level and recognizing that your needs are being met. You know, instead, you're kind of looking like, I need to be further ahead. This needs to be happening right now. You know, I should be this far. I should be this famous. I should be this rich. I should be, you know what I mean? It's that energy. And what the cards are basically saying is things are happening for you. You just have to look at the bigger picture, you know, and not just what's happening right now. Like, pay attention to the ground floor. Look at things that are improving. Have you seen improvements? Have you noticed improvements? There are small improvements that are happening, and you may not be noticing them because your head is in the cloud looking for the big win. And that's what the energy is of here. And it's like, if it's not giving the same type of emotional feeling or that same feeling of connectedness, like fiery and passionate, then it's a feeling of like, this is regret. I'm going to walk away from this. I'm not excited. I'm not enthused. It's not moving in the direction that I would like it to move. And what you're getting now is more wisdom and more balance. All right, because now what you're going to become open to is what happens next. That energy of like, what happens next? You may be in that right now, but you're going to be trusting that you're divinely connected and that you're already aligned with where you're going. See, this is heart chakra, so this is about receptivity. All right, this is also about processing grief, because you may feel like you don't have the ability to maybe I don't know if it's a reconcile, because the Ace of Cups to a Five of Cups could be like a reconcile or like an apology to, you know what I mean? It's that energy of fluctuating, you know, because if it's not you wanting to apologize or offer emotions to someone, it's that fluctuation of feeling really romantic to feeling like I need to like close in, you know, I think about what's already happened, what's already progressed, and now maybe I need to walk away and spend some time alone because this isn't giving me the excitement that I'm looking for. I'm not, you know, I'm not getting all the, because it's, you know, sometimes the Ace of Wands can be about extravagance, you know what I mean? So it could be that energy of wanting to leave to find more extravagant things or newer opportunities. And what it's saying here is finding balance. Look at the bigger picture. You know, your needs are going to be met. You know what I mean? You just may not be paying attention to the smaller practical details, the things that are happening below the surface. You know, you're just looking at the big picture, trying to see it. And it's saying that you're going to be able to get there. You're going to be able to see the big picture, but right now it may not make sense, and they're going to want you to trust in spirit. And so you're underestimating yourself by not believing that you have what it takes to be able to persevere and move through, you know, to get the situations. I want to say to get the relationships that you're looking for as well. Because that's what it feels like here. It's like an energy of or to get the reciprocation that you're looking for. Because the Knight of Cups is a person who sometimes, he's not really flighty, but he has like a lot of emotional, fog. Because he kind of goes with whatever new woman comes in front of him. So like he may say he loves you, and he does. He's genuine with his emotions. But he may also kind of go into this energy of feeling like there's something better. There's always something new. And that's kind of where you are. It's like, you know, it says like, it's like you're not allowing it to just like flow. And what's being challenged right now is your pride, your ego. That's being challenged right now with this spirit, with surrendering to the divine. Your ego is needing to be challenged with the way that you express yourself and the way that you see yourself. You're challenging that now. Now you're not trying to put yourself on such a high pedestal. In fact, you're doing the more practical, finer details to get you to where it is that you're seeing yourself at, and not really living in a cloud. It may take you a minute to get there, but it's going to happen because we have to the sea, which means that spirit is going to get you there. They're just asking you to surrender. All right, surrender to it, and they're going to push you there. And you're underestimating yourself by thinking that you don't have the ability to do that, because you have, a fluctuating energy of, okay, I'm assured, I know what I'm going to do, I know how I feel, I'm going to go get, I'm going to go move, and I'm going to propose, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, I'm going to, express myself the way I'm going to express. And then you get into this energy of feeling like, maybe not, maybe that's not how I really feel. Let me just go back and kind of consider it again, because I don't really feel too assured about what it is I'm about to say. And what it's saying is, because it feels like a whole bunch of different ways of going about it, right? Like it feels like it's a whole bunch of different things. Like it isn't just about feelings and emotions and just relationships. It feels like you're challenging the way that you've already seen yourself. The way that you envisioned yourself being. It feels like you're changing that, and you're slowly transforming. You're slowly moving into a new phase, or abundance is coming in. You just maybe need to pay attention to what's happening as you're growing it. Like take notice of the growth, and take notice of the improvements. You may be thinking that it's not moving fast enough, it's not producing enough, just that, and it's saying like because to the sea is a slow moving energy. It's like take time out to really look at how much progression it has made. When you're on a river, over time it takes, say you're in a river, and if you don't have a paddle, it just you're just going with the natural flow of the river. And that's what it is. And sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. And right now it could be slow for you. And in this time, if it's slow, instead of looking forward and looking at what's next and what's going to happen next, you're going to be able to get that by trusting in spirit, and knowing that the next big thing, or what's really important, or what's really needed for you, is going to be provided for you. You don't have to worry about that. You're underestimating that you're being carried by spirit. All right. And that spirit is here helping you. All you need to do is pay attention to the smaller, minute details, and not about the bigger picture. You're going to be shown the bigger picture, but you're just going to be needing to be more receptive of what's being offered and what's being given, and learning how to use that. So here's your advice. It says, "Dear guardian angel, help me to believe that all is possible through love. Help me manifest my dreams and live an inspiring and fulfilling life. Help me to feel God's presence in every moment. Help me feel eternally loved. Thank you for being always by my side." And it's saying, from a place of love, you need to stand up and speak your truth. What you wish for is what the universe wished for you. You're getting adaptability, the ability to go with the flow, and you're underestimating your natural ability to do this. Because this Leo energy, you don't have to be a Leo, but I know Leo, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energies, they tend to be very controlling. Because it keeps them from getting hurt. And so you could be that type of person. You don't have to be, but that's where the energy is. It's giving up that, and you're being challenged to just let go, and then, let go and let God, let the universe, let spirit take you to where you're meant to go, because it's pushing you on the right direction to get you there, to liberate you and give you a sense of balance and purpose, as well as giving you more wisdom, for allowing you to see the bigger perspective and not the vision that you had dreamed up. All right. It's asking you to surrender that dream, because you're underestimating what spirit will really give you. All right. So, pile 4, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house.